Hello.
Hi, welcome back to the Mind Sports Olympiad. We're here on the final day here in 2019, and we're going to join a game that won Game of the Year last year. Its first appearance here at the Mind Sports Olympiad, that is Azul. It's a small tile lane game. Azul plays between 2 to 4 players, but our tournament is strictly 2 players. We're going to join these 2 players in the middle of round 2, and we're going to have a quick look. We've got Remy Taste in the top. I believe that's Mark Taste's son. He's currently on 20 points. If you can see his little black score tracker going across the top of the board there. And he's playing Piero Modolo. I played Piero early in the week. He's a very good games player. He is on 26. So it's a close game so far. And it looks like this is the 4th round of the game because they've got 3 in a row. I think Remy's got, Piero and Remy have both got 3 on the top row. That means this will be the 4th round of the game. So potentially 2 more rounds left. And we take it in.
Do you find players usually try to fill the top row first?
The top row is the easiest to fill because you only ever need 1. Generally, I personally would not fill my top row first, but it's usually the one that you can nearly always get a counter for near the end of the game. I would usually try and go for rows 2 and 3 first. What you're looking for when the tiles come out is lots of the same colour that are useful for you. So you can see on the circular discs at the moment there are 2 triple blacks, which would be great for Piero because he hasn't filled his triple black, although he's got 1 black in that row already, so he only needs 2 more. So if you haven't played Azul, it's really easy. On your turn, you take all of 1 colour from 1 location. So you can see all the tiles you can pick from. There's 5 different locations you can pick from. And from those, you can take all of 1 colour. So there are 2 tiles with 3 black. You could take those. You could take the single yellow tile on the same ones. He's got 2 light blue ones to the bottom. And is that 3 reds to the top? Again, 3 reds isn't good for him because on his 3rd row down, he's already got 1 black. So 3 reds he could put on the 4th row down, but then he needs a 4th red. There is 1, but he might not get it.
3 reds wouldn't be good for Remy either on the to fill in the 3 row because he's already got a red.
He's already got a red, yeah. So the 3 reds usually on the very first turn of the game will be a great opening move. Taking 3 of the same colour is great. And what you're doing is you're taking all of 1 colour and you're placing it. If we look at Piero's board, on the left-hand side of his board, you need to place 1 tile in the top row, 2 in the 2nd, 3 in the 3rd, and so on all the way down to the bottom. And at the end of the round, when all the tiles are taken, any full rows you've got, you get to add them to your bathroom tiles. So basically on the right hand side you're trying to fill that up with as many different colours as you can, and doing so is going to score some points. So we'll explain the points a bit more when it gets to the end of the round, but Piero decided to take the single black, which will be the 4th one he's got in the top row.
So the game finishes when a row is completed? Yeah,
so when either player completes a row, that will be the last round of the game. There'll be no further round. You finish that round off, you score it as normal, but there'll be no more rounds. So the shortest a game of Azul can last is 5 rounds. That's why we're currently on round 4. And at the moment, Piero has added his 4th one on the top row, so he could end the game next turn. And if Remy gets a yellow or a dark blue on the top row, he could potentially threaten to end the game as well. So it's Remy's turn. He's looking potentially to get tiles to go on the 3rd row down. Now he could take the 3 blacks.
Yeah.
It doesn't score him many points. It will score him 2 points when they get added on, because what you're also trying to do is you're trying to get colours. He's going to do that. You're trying to get colours that kind of touch other colours you've already got. Now, when I said earlier the rules at the start of the game, you can take any number, all the same colour from 1 location, and every time you take from the outside locations, whatever you don't take gets pushed into the middle. So you can see Piero there, he took the 2 light blues from the middle. And he took the first player marker. What happens when you take the first player marker, Alex?
You get penalised by a point because you took from the middle first, but then next round you go first. Yeah,
so it's like a double-edged sword. You lose a point, which could potentially matter if the game's close, but more importantly, you get to go first next round. Going first is pretty good. It allows you first access, and especially if, like, you know, there's only 2 blacks out there and you need 2 blacks, you get first dibs at them. So something like that's very good, I imagine. And he's also got 2 light blues. So when he puts those 2 light blues in, we'll see when we get to scoring if you haven't played before. Those 2 light blues are going to score him currently 5 points. which is decent. Every time you get every round in the game, every tile you add gets slightly more points because you're touching more and more things that you've previously placed.
So you score 1 point per tile, but also 1 point for each adjacent tile in that row or column.
Yeah,
basically.
so you'll score the whole row and the whole column, all the touching ones. So you could score that tile twice because it could count for the row and the column. But if you put it by itself, it only scores a point. So you generally don't want to put it by itself.
A great move would be almost filling in a row and a column in the corner and then finishing them off with a corner tile.
Yeah, that would score you 10 points, wouldn't it? And you'll be getting points on the way as well. So what Piero did there, he took the 3 blacks from the middle. He added 2 of them to the row that already had a black. And any excess tiles you can't put on different rows. So he goes in the bottom row there as penalty points. And the way the penalty points work is you lose a point, then 2 points, then 2 points, then 2 points, then 3 points and 3 points. So you could find, we had a game earlier, didn't we, Alex, that it is determined by someone having to take a lot of penalty points in one row. I think I lost 11 points, was it? So you've got to be careful that you don't get left and stuffed with a big pile of penalty points. Now, Piero's got an opportunity. He's probably going to take the 3 reds because Remy needs those 3 reds to fill that row. So he's taking the 3 reds. It won't actually matter for Piero.
He's putting them on the bottom.
He's putting them on the bottom, yeah. Oh, no, he's putting them on the row above. Because on the row above, it will be underneath the black one he's got. So we're going to see them scoring points. I don't know if they're going to take it in turns. So that gets added on. It's touching 3 others, so it scores him 4 points. And he's adding the points up he's going. So he scored, the light blue one scored him 5, that's 9. The dark black one scored him 6, that's 15. So he's going to get 15 points. So from 26 to 31. He's then going to lose 2 points because he's got 2 on the penalty row. So he should go back to 39.
And then any tiles that weren't added from a full row get thrown away in the box.
Yeah, chucked away into the box. I don't think he's taken his penalties yet, has he? He should go back 2 more points to 39. Remy's doing what I do. He's adding his points on for each individual move, whereas Piero did it all in one go. So I think he's forgotten to take his 2 penalty points, actually. So I hope that doesn't influence the game in any way. But you're scoring individually, so you score and your opponent watches you. So I'm afraid if that is an error, I'm afraid Remy missed it and Piero missed it as well. So this potentially could be the last round of the game. You get points at the end of the game for 3 extra things. Can you remember what those 3 things are, Alex?
Filling in the row, column, or all 5 tiles of the game?
Yeah.
So of one colour?
Yeah, so if you get a complete row at the end of the game, which is how the game ends, you'll get 2 points, not that many, but it could potentially matter if the game's close. If you fill a column in, you get 7 points. Now you can see Piero has got his centre column filled in, and Remy has got his 4th column, or 2nd column as we look at it, filled in.
I think Piero's going to go for the light blue if he doesn't get take. He needs 1 light blue to fill in the first row. 1 light blue,
so he could take it off the left-hand side. He's also looking potentially to get a double red, because a double red will score him 6 points. So he might take the double red and hope he gets a light blue later on. I think that seems sensible. He's unlikely to get 5 in a row. But there are 2 double reds, so he could take the light blue, and he's guaranteed 1 of the double reds later.
That's what I would do.
Take the light blue?
The light blue, yeah.
Okay. And you'll notice that Remy needs a single dark blue. And again, Remy's got choices for that. So
they kind of have to end it this round.
The other thing, it doesn't have to happen, but it probably will. The other thing that Piero might take is the single red in the bottom right disc. The single red will fill his reds up, and it's the only single red. Any other reds he will be taking, if he fills that row up, will be kind of like double ones. So I might take the single red and then try and get a double red and hope there's a single light blue to come later. See, the problem is, if Piero takes a single red, Remy can counter by taking the double yellow, and that means all 3 light blues would go into the centre, and if Piero ever wanted to take the light blues, he's going to lose some penalty points. Right, so he's taking the double reds.
Reds, yeah. Oh, no.
Still thinking. No, he's taking single. So I think this is a mistake. I think what Remy can do now is take the double yellow, which will go on his second row down. It will score him 5 points, but it would also penalise Piero for taking the single light blue.
Yeah.
And if Piero doesn't take the 3 light blues on his first opportunity, Remy can take them.
And he actually needs them.
Yeah. Well, now there's an issue as well. If Piero doesn't end the game this round, it's not in Remy's interest to end the game because Remy's losing. Remy's 9 points behind. So I think I would take the double yellow, and if my opponent doesn't take the 3 light blues, I would take the 3 light blues on my next turn, just to add another turn to the game. Because at the moment, I think Remy is behind. Yeah, I think that's the. I think that's. Oh, he's filled his button, which is equally as fine. But if his opponent doesn't,
it scores him fewer points, no?
It does score him fewer points. It scores him, but if he's looking to fill the red row in above it, and he might be able to get that whole column, that will score him 7 points. So, I think Remy could take the 3 light blue ones now from the centre. He would lose him another point, but he would stop Piero ending the game. Although Piero's going to score quite a lot of points, he's going to score 6 points for the 2 reds he's got on row 2, and he's going to score 4 points for the 4 reds he's got on row 3.
Oh, he hasn't done it.
Yeah, well, this scores him 1 more point by taking those, but it does allow Piero to end the game. I think as Piero, I probably would do that because maybe because Remy can't fill up row 4, so Remy's row 4 where he's got the single red. He won't be able to fill up that this turn, and he's looking to get that column. You'll notice in that column on the right-hand side of Remy's board, he's going to get the yellow at the bottom. He's already got the black and the light blue. He should be able to get the dark blue this turn, or this round, but he won't be able to fill the red row in. So I think if Piero ends the game, it would cost him 2 points to do it, but he'd gain 5 points by placing that tile. And he's got a 9-point lead, and I think if he can stop Remy finishing another column, that 9-point lead should probably be good enough.
And I think he's going to get more points from the board because he's got more pieces touching each other.
Yeah, that's one of the tactics you've got. Remy's got a gap in the middle of his pieces, and Piero doesn't.
Oh, he doesn't do
Actually,
That's interesting.
This is fine. Actually, I missed that. Remy can't actually take the light blues.
Why
because he's got a light blue on the top row and the second row. Or at least in terms of the two rows nearest to us, he's got a light blue already.
Right.
So the light blues he can't actually fit on his board without taking him as pure penalty points.
So both of them want to get as much as possible.
Yeah, actually, Piero took the dark blue as a penalty. He didn't actually place it. So maybe
do you think he might take the next one?
Well, I think maybe he's looking to try and give Remy lots of penalty points. I don't know why you take the dark blue as a penalty. I don't know why you take it as a penalty.
So Remy wouldn't be able to finish it. Wait, he could put them at the bottom. Yeah, you're right.
So Remy will take the reds. Piero will take the light blues. And he stopped Remy ending the game. So Remy now cannot end the game. So if Piero decides to end the game, it's completely under his own choice now. Because Remy needed one of these. See, can you see? What you can do is Piero, you can take a colour and not place it. You just take it as a penalty. And he's chosen to do that 2 turns in a row. He's taken a single dark blue. I'm not sure.
Why didn't he put them on the line?
He could do. He's deciding.
Why did he decide to do them? To use them as penalty?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't put them on the line because. Oh, he's just absolutely done Remy, and Remy's going to lose 14. But oh my God! So I think Piero's been very aggressive there. He's played very well. He did it in such a way that if Remy either had to end the game or take a big chunk of penalty points, so he's going to lose 14 points from his penalties. Oh, I think this is what's happened. I think Piero last time probably took the 2 points off and then added them on, because Remy took his penalty points off and now he's going to add his regular points on.
Right.
So he's going to get 6 for that. Apologies, 5 for that.
5.
He's going to get 6 for that. Now, the amount of penalty points he took is 14, and that's a huge portion of your score, and just 1 point for that. So I think...
That's more penalty points than positive points.
Yeah, that's pretty poor. So well done to Piero for engineering that situation. I think Remy could have ended the game, but he was going to... The way Piero had done it, Remy was going to take a lot of things he couldn't fit on his board. And then take 2 points off. So I'm not sure whether Piero missed the penalty, but he is a full... Is it 18 points ahead, I think. I think Remy's on 31 and Piero's on 49. So in a 2-player game of Azul, you have enough tiles to play 5 rounds before shuffling them back in. So they played through the whole bag, an even distribution of all the colours. Because they're now on round 6, the game could have ended. Both players could have ended the game, but they didn't. They have to shuffle all the tiles they've thrown away back into the bag, and they're going to do it again. I imagine this is the last turn of the game because both players can complete the top 2 rows.
And that's the blue tile that Piero could use to end the first row?
Yeah, the light blue tile, yes. There's 2 single light blue tiles. I think you could, Piero could also end the game by taking a double black, and Remy could end the game by taking either a single dark blue, a double dark blue, or a triple light blue. So given Piero is 18 points ahead, I imagine he will end the game. He will probably take the double black if it's still there when it gets to him, because that will finish off a row. And then he will look to get a single light blue as well, which will score another row and a total of 5, 10, 12 points for those 2. If he gets a single light blue and a double black, it will be 12 points. Now he's only got 57 seconds left. Ooh.
Oh.
No, I think he's just being excessively greedy here. Oh, maybe Remy can't really take the blacks, or not enough of them to matter. So Piero's going to try and get 3 yellows to finish that. I mean, Piero doesn't need to end the game. He's probably going to outscore Remy anyway.
What happens if a player runs out of time before the game is finished?
I imagine... I don't actually know in the rules of this game, actually. I will check for you. That is a very good question, Alex. Well done. In a lot of 2-player games where it's alternate turns, you just lose. But in this particular game, because the game is an undetermined number of rounds... yeah, he's got to speed up as Piero. I think they both have to speed up. I mean, Remy's only got...
1 minute and 12.
Yeah, 1 minute
seconds.
12. The good news is that when this match is finished, it's probably going to be the last match to finish, so we can be straight back with round 3. I believe there are 5 rounds today in Azul. There's quite a few players. There's about 20-odd players playing today. I think there's 22 players. So there's 11 games going on at once. They've both got just over 40 seconds. We need to speed up, I'm afraid, otherwise it'll go bad. So I think Remy just takes the dark blue, puts it there, bangs the clock. I think he probably, as Piero, you probably just take the light blue and finish the top row. Oh, you could take the... I mean, the other possibility is you
take
you could take the 4 blacks from the middle.
You don't mean penalty points?
It wouldn't, because Remy's already taken from the centre.
All right. Yep.
So Remy gets all 5 blacks now, if he wants them. Only but with 2 points. And that's, take all 5 blacks, I think. You don't want to be stuck with those as penalties. We might find out what happens if they run out of time. They've got to be super quick. Now he's got 10 seconds left, so done. light blue, done.
So you can have pieces on the table
Yellow,
and decide not to
done.
move them.
And then he's going to have to take penalty. So this is an easy win for Piero. It might be close in scoring. I think they're shaking their hand. I think Remy is conceding, but they are going to work it out, or maybe they're just shaking hand because the game's end. So Remy loses. I think that was 8 points he lost. Now he's going to get some points. He's going to get 8 for that. That is the 8 points back. So you can see when things get filled up near the end, you get loads and loads of points. There's another 7.
7, yeah.
He doesn't finish the next 2 rows, and the black on the bottom, sadly, is only worth 2. So he gets... His current score is not enough to overtake Piero, and Piero's still got some scoring to do.
And it was, what the fuck? 5.
Apologies for what you just heard there.
Okay, it's fine. We just, yes, 5. Yeah, who knows? 5 plus 4, like 8, 13. 13. Fine.
And then they're going to eventually add some endgame scoring. The endgame scoring, complete rows get you 2, complete columns get you 7. I know that they've both got a complete column, they've both got a complete row, so they're both going to score the same at the end of the game. And it looks like it's a score of 71 plays 50. So that is if it plays 52, it looks like a clear win for Piero. If you notice, he was very mean and aggressive, and he was leaving Remy with a lot of penalty points. If you are watching from home, you can comment. We've got our lovely assistant Alex here. He is watching the YouTube and Facebook for comments. You can watch us live on Facebook or on YouTube, and you can comment below, and we will get back to them with any questions you've got about Azul, about the Mind Sports Olympiad as a whole, about Agricola, which is coming later on this afternoon. And we've also got the awards ceremony for the overall awards, like the Pentamind, which we'll have a look at the standings in just a bit. But you've got standings for the Euro Games and the Abstract Games and the women and the seniors and the juniors. So if you want to just see who's doing well, if you've got any crowd favourites, friends that you know that have come here, see if they've done well, you can check the website. And if they've got a medal, you can watch them receive it live this evening around 7 o'clock-ish for the medal presentations. We are going to go to the Pentamind standings in a sec, but you played your first game with Azul today. How would you rate it as like a game that would introduce people to board gaming?
I quite liked it. It's fairly simple, straightforward. There is some strategy, but I don't think it involves as much strategy as other games like chess, or although you have to plan your steps quite carefully. When did this game appear? When was it created?
It was, I saw it for the first time in Essen at 2017, so it came out about September 2017 probably, came to Essen in October. And that was the first time I saw it. I heard a recommendation, it was good, so I got it, and then it ended up winning Game of the Year, so I was like really pleased with my purchase. So it won Game of the Year that they have every summer for games released in the previous year. So
where is that? Is it in the UK? Or
the Game of the Year is called Spiel the Jahres. It's a German award, and some of the games we've played here, so Ticket to Ride and Carcassonne, Hare and Tortoise, they've all won the Game of the Year. So there are several of the good games that have kind of stood the test of time and play well in a tournament have won Game of the Year over the last few years, and they appear at the Mind Sports Olympiad, and Azul has now joined them, so welcome Azul. But yeah, it's not been around too long. It's the first year as a tournament. If it goes well this year, I imagine we'll see it in the future. So hopefully, fingers crossed.
So azulejo in Portuguese means tile. It comes from Arabic, I think. But I think the game was created by a German guy, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Probably a lot of games like this are German, but the word Azul comes from Portuguese or an Arabic word. What's the whole word?
So azulejo means tile.
Okay.
And I think when the Moors colonized parts of Portugal and Spain, they brought this word, part of Arabic, of course. And then Spanish and Portuguese have different varieties of the word, meaning tiles.
That's incredible knowledge, because she has not researched that. We were chatting yesterday about the game Azul, and she asked me, "Oh, does it mean blue?" And I go, "Oh, no, it's you're just making tiles in Portugal." And he goes, "Oh, yeah, it comes from this." So she's a very bright lady. Well done.
I do like Portuguese culture.
So we're looking at the standings for the overall Pentamind here. This is your best 5 results over several events, and it's really tight at the top at the moment. It looks like the gold and silver will be shared between Andres and Ankush, unless Martin, Herb Margi and Georg have some sort of outstanding day and win 2 events or something like that. Andres Kusk came third last year, but he has won this event 4 times. And Ankush Khandelwal has won it twice, including last year, and he's been second several times too. And it's super tight at the moment. So Ankush won Triolet yesterday. He's won backgammon. He's come third in Settlers of Catan, which is best score. He came second in rapid chess, which is his second best score. He's doing really well. And more importantly, although Andres has a 5 and a bit, just about 5-point lead, Ankush has a worse score to improve upon. So it's harder for Andres to improve his score because his lowest scores are higher than Ankush's lowest score. And Ankush is playing a game called Agricola later today. It's a premium event, so I think he needs something like third in Agricola to improve enough on the 88 to win him this event, depending on the number of players.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Is this the total of points scored in every game they played, or is it the points they get after they win?
It's just the top 5. So the score that Andres has got, for example, 489, comes from the 5 scores to the right being added together. They're coded, so for example, QROC is the Corridor Olympiad Championship, and he won that, I believe, or came joint first, I think, in Corridor. Or something. I think he actually might have won. It was a win or joint first. I can't quite remember. It scores him 104 because it was a premium event. So premium events can potentially score you up to about 106, depending on the number of players that enter. So Andres got 104 for winning that. And he's got some of the other ones. I think LO is Lines of Action, which he has won several times in the past. BO is Boku, which I think he came joint first with Martin Hobermargi, which Martin usually wins that. So Andres did very well to kind of tie with him there. Andres had a good performance in Settlers. I think he came somewhere like 5th for 94. And then TN is Trench, which he won, and he's won for the past few years. Just pointing out a few more people. James Heppel, 2-time winner of this event. He's doing well, although he's probably not going to get a gold or silver. He could potentially still get third if he improves. I think he's playing chess puzzles today. Our leading junior and our leading female and our leading all-round nice gal is Noah. She's beaten me at several things this week, and she's just had a fantastic year so far this year. She's still got the potential to get an overall medal. One of her strong events coming up is Lost Cities later today. Mark Taste is sneaking up into the top there. His son we just saw playing Piero, so it's unlucky for Mark that his son lost that match. But Mark has done very well this year. David Jameson, exceptional performance, 3 days in a row. He got 3 different golds. Dario Toffoli, the leading senior, the poker specialist, knocked me out of Pineapple earlier in the week. And Matthew Hathwell, all-round great guy, and he's a standard player. Like, he's good at a bit of everything, is Matthew. So he's doing very well. And he will be playing Agricola today. So here's the opportunity with a good score in Agricola to jump up a few places there. We're going to try and join you back to the table. We might be able to see the next players starting to take their seats. And we are going to have a look at who's there. We're generally going to be looking at table 1 throughout the event. We can see Piero again on the left, and we can see, I think this is Victor Hernandez, I believe, on the right-hand side there, one of the Spanish juniors that Paco Garcia de la Banda brings along with him every year. They come here and they do very well across a multitude of events. I mean, this is the 8th day of gaming, and these players have gamed every day, and they're still sharp and ready to fight for medals.
Do you know how many nationalities are at the Mind Sports Olympiad?
Oh, that is an excellent question. I do not, but I can tell you there are some Estonians, we've seen them, some Spanish people, some French people. We haven't seen any English people today. We've seen some Italians. We've got some Koreans. They've gone home, but they come for maybe the first 6 days, and they play a lot of the abstract games and tile lane games today. If we can have a look at just at the top-down view, that would be lovely. Last year we had some Americans. We had an Australian in Chris Fung, our co-commentator. We've got some Romanians here commentating, so Alex is Romanian.
I was thinking, which one is that?
That's definitely you. All right, so when you're looking here, so the time is ticking down. Usually there is 3 blacks and nothing else, so you're going to be taking 3 blacks. Usually if there's 3 of one colour, you're probably going to take them. The only reason maybe not to take blacks is it's on the left-hand side of your board in row 3. But what he's going to be looking to do now is he's going to be looking to take the double blue above it. You can see there's 2 double light blues, or potentially 4 reds. So he might take the double blue on the tile in the middle that hasn't been taken yet, pushes the red into the centre, and it allows him to take 4 reds. And what that does, that allows you to score pretty highly in the first column of your board. And then what you'd be aiming to do as the game goes on is move across right. The weird thing that's happened in this particular game is there have been no dark blues come out at all. So Victor will not be able to kind of put the top piece of his first row until the second round.
I think I would take the 4 reds. You can't take it because they're in the middle.
But he's pushing them into the middle. So either Piero takes the 4 reds and loses a point because he's having to take the first player marker. Which he's going to do.
Yeah,
and he's doing this. He's doing this to stop Victor getting them. It doesn't actually score him that many points because they don't connect to the blacks he's already taken. So I think what Victor might do is try to take either the single yellow to put it on the top, or he might try and get 3 light blues. I don't think he's going to get 3 light blues. So I think, okay.
Oh.
I probably don't agree with that. Maybe he's hoping that Piero pushes something into the middle. It's nice for him, but the other possibility is Victor took the single black so that Piero couldn't fill his row of 5 up because there were enough blacks for him to do that. And the fact that so many blacks have come out in the first round might mean that Piero might not be able to do it in the second round as well. So I'd say that Victor's got the advantage at the moment. He's going to score higher on the first round. Piero's going to struggle to maybe fill his black row up because there's not enough blacks out there. You could take the single yellow. No, he's going to take these and put them underneath the blacks, probably. No, he's not. He's putting them on bottom. Right.
Yeah, Piero had to do that to ensure he would fill them.
Yeah.
Eventually.
He will do. So he's got a chance. He should be able to fill that next round. I mean, Victor could have taken those blacks and stopped Piero filling them. I mean, it wouldn't be a bad position to take the blacks and put them on row 4. Okay, so actually Piero's not come out this too badly. So we're going to score some points. Piero's going to go first, I think. So that's 1 point. That's 1 point. That's 1 point. He doesn't get to put the blacks on, and then he loses 1. Okay, but Victor's going to score slightly more because some of his colours touch. So that's going to be 1 point. That's going to be 1 point. And then this one's going to be 2 points. He scores slightly more there. So what Piero's going to be looking to do in the second round, you see he's got those 2 yellow ones. He's going to try and get either the red one above or nearest to us,
or the blue.
Single one, or the double blue, because that will score him 4 points each. What Victor will be looking to do is be playing in and around the 2 he's got to the left. He'd be liking to get the double blue as well. So maybe if he's got first pick and there's a double blue, he'll take it.
There's a double blue.
Mm-hmm. So there's 100 tiles in the bag. There's 25 of each colour, and we've already seen 9 black ones, I think. 8 black ones. So you can see now that there aren't as many black ones out at the moment, but thankfully for Piero, he managed to get enough that he only needs 1 more. And it looks like Piero's going first, so it looks like he's just trying to be nasty again. He's taking the double light blue. I don't know whether he's doing that to...
He keeps surprising us.
Well, I think he's doing it to stop Victor getting it. Also, the double light blue, can you see in his centre row, Piero's centre row, he is looking to fill that up. He's got the black ones almost filled. He's got the light blue ones going for that. If you can fill your centre row, it's the strongest row in the game. So when I said at the start that Victor took the 3 blacks, I said the only downside was it's to the left of your board, which means when you're putting other things next to it, you've only got 1 option. Whereas if you get that centre row filled, when you put other things next to it, you can go either way. You can go either side, yeah.
Yeah. score him 2 points.
Yeah, it will do, but he's not connecting his things together very well. He'd like to be putting things that he's next near where he's already got. His bottom row, he's got light blues. That's not going to be too good. He might try and switch from the row on the left to the the column on the left to the fourth column, because he's fit. You know, his 5 row. It takes a long time to fill that up, and so maybe he will do that.
I think that's what Piero was so good at last game, at connecting all of his things.
Yeah, he did very well. Did last game. He also was very good at stitching his opponent up, like leaving it such a. I mean, his opponent lost, I don't know, like 19 points in penalties.
Yeah.
And he only won by 18, I think, or 21, I think. I can't remember the exact winning margin, but Piero, not necessarily maximising his own score, but minimising his opponent's, he's done very well. So Piero would really like a triple dark blue to go in the centre of his board, the very centre space, because that also joins a column up. We're not taking a short break just yet, but that time will be coming up. We're going to have a short break at the end of this round until round 4 starts, and then we'll be back with the last 2 rounds of the event.
I'm not sure why Piero took the 2 reds, when I think the 2 dark blues have been more beneficial.
Yeah, I think that too, but maybe he's looking to get 3 dark blues on the row beneath. Okay, he's taking the black before it costs him a point to do so, because if once the black's in the middle, if Victor could push the other black into the middle, Piero would lose a point for taking it. There's not enough reds, so I think what Victor is doing is he's switching to the right-hand side of the board rather than trying to get 4 reds on the left-hand side of the board. So we'd be looking for a triple yellow.
When he can get the 4 dark blues.
Yeah, he's going to make sure he finishes this row off this turn. So also it stops Piero finishing off his 4th row.
Unless Piero takes the 4 dark blues now.
He can't take 4 dark blues because they're in
Sorry,
different
3.
places.
3 ones in the
Yeah,
middle.
he probably will do.
Yeah.
I think he will do. But what you're looking at this position is Piero can't take 4 yellows.
No.
So Piero is going to try and count how many moves it will take him. If I take this, my opponent takes this, and I take this, will I be left with these 4 yellows? Because he doesn't want to be in that situation. Victor could take the 4 yellows, and that's fine. But if Victor could let Piero take them as penalties, he'd rather do that. So so he's taken that so that Victor can't complete the row. And I think if you count it out, I think Piero's going to take some penalties here. If you count it out. So it's Victor's go now. Victor could take, for example, the 4 yellows.
Yeah, at least 1 point penalty, I think.
No, Victor's going to get the penalty, I'm afraid. Because it's Victor's turn. He takes the 4 yellows.
And then Piero takes the black.
The single black.
Oh
no, he's going to take some penalties himself. He could have given these to Victor and taken some penalties, but and then Victor gets a single black. He might not place this, you know. He might just take it as a penalty. But Victor's done well now. I don't know if you can see on the right-hand side of the board, he's going to get the light blue next to the black, and then underneath the black, he's going to get the red and the yellow.
The yellow, yeah.
So yeah, he's taken it as a penalty. He didn't want to commit the 4th row to black, because black's. I think he's going to go down the right-hand side of the board. He's changed his tack a bit. So he made a net gain, Piero, there of 2 points. But he's potentially better placed. He's got a lot more gaps in between things where he's got 2 of. Although Victor's going to outscore him this particular round because he didn't take any penalties. 2, and then this is going to be
4.
Another 2, yeah. And then this is going to be another 3. So Victor is leading 9-4, but I believe that Piero's got some better placed pieces. There's a lot of places he can place it to get at least 4 points. So, for example, on the top row, he can place the red or the black for 4 points. On the second row, he can place the dark blue or the black for 5 points. In the 4th row down, he can finish that column. He can try and finish the column off by getting 2 more light blues for 4 points. So he's in a better position to score some higher points than Victor is. So we'll see how this pans out. He also gets to go first.
There is more strategy involved than I've thought of first, actually.
In a two-player game, yes, because you can do that. So that thing in chess, why chess is so complicated, is you can go, if I do this and he does that and I do this and he does that, how can I do that? But because the chess pieces move in so many drastically different ways and the board positions are so many different board positions, it's way more complicated. But you do have that opportunity in this to kind of calculate, you know, if I take this, can I be done in? If I take those, can I do my opponent in? We saw it in the last game that Piero did very well at penalising his opponent. And he's got first pick here. So has he got any of the things that scoring points? He hasn't got a double light blue. So he's just guaranteeing to finish this now. There's 2 single light blues. And they could have one of them each. I think, you know, as Victor, I might take one of the piles of 3 blue. Yeah, he's decided on that one. So what Piero's looking for, he's looking for a double dark blue. There isn't one. He's looking for a double black. Well, there's a double black. He could take that for 5 points. Yeah, I mean, he should probably take the double black for 5 points because Victor's going to take it otherwise. Oh, Victor.
Unless he's waiting for 3 yellows.
Yeah, Victor possibly won't, you know.
2 yellows.
Victor took 3 blues and put them on row 4. He's trying to complete a column. Yeah, I didn't know. That's probably a better move than what I suggested. You think that Piero's waiting for 3 yellows? Yeah, because 3 yellows would score you 4 points. So if enough get pushed into the centre, there are 3 yellows out there. But I think Victor might take one of the single blues now. Maybe from the centre.
Yeah, either one. The dark one or the light one.
Yeah. Well, he could take either light one now, I think, on his next turn. And then he'll get a column. And then he's going to hope he gets some nice things left at the end. So Piero at something needs. They both need a single light blue. So I imagine when one of them takes it, the other one will take the other one. But I think Piero. I don't know whether I'd be tempted with Piero to take the double black. You know. Because it scores you 5 points. Catches you up. You are 5 points behind, so it kind of levels you. Because I think you're right as well. If you can get 3 yellows as well, that would be good. But he's got a lot he wants, you know. I think actually what might be best is if you take the light blue nearest to you and push the yellow in the middle.
Oh. Where were you going to go with that?
They need to push them in the middle. So basically, if you took the light blue, you might force Victor to take the other light blue and then you'd get the 3 yellows. He might still get the 3 yellows anyway because Victor can't take the 3 yellows without taking a penalty. He just has to take the light blue one. And now he's doing this, and he's doing this to stop Piero getting them. So he loses a penalty point for it. It's not super great for him. It only scores him 2 points, but stops Piero getting them, and Piero would score 4 points for that. And again, they're in this position where they still both need that light blue one. And again,
can still get it.
When one goes, the other will go.
Yeah.
So if Pierro's going to take one, he wants to take the one with the 3 blues. Because if he pushes the 3 blues into the centre, then Victor has to take a penalty point if he takes them. So if Pierro's going to take a light blue one, I imagine he takes the one off the disc, pushes the blues into the centre, the dark blue ones, and then Piero has to take a penalty point for taking them. As you can see when we're talking, there's a lot of if he does this, then that happens, and
Yeah,
it's hard to I probably would have taken the other one, you know. So it's whether you take the. You can't take the reds because you could get done, and he has to take the dark blues and put them on the bottom row. Otherwise, potentially he can get done in by. Victor.
So if he takes dark blues, Victor can take reds. Oh.
It depends how he puts them. If he put, that's okay. That's okay. So he can't get done on it with the dark blues now. So Victor could take. Victor's going to have to take at least one penalty point. He can take the 2 reds and put them on the top row, lose a point, or he can take the 4 blues and put them on the 3rd row, lose a point. I think the red scores more points, but the blue in the middle of the table is potentially better for
Why
him.
can't he put the 2 reds on the 3rd row with the 3s?
He could, but he wants to finish. You want to get tiles added to the board because if you lose a point, the tile added to the board will gain you that point back.
You have to make it up.
Yeah, it will get you. So you generally don't want to have uncompleted rows. So in this particular case, Pierro's going to have 2 uncompleted rows. So although he had higher scoring opportunities, he's actually not at being able to add as many tiles to the board as Victor. If you look at Victor's board, look how many tiles he's going to be adding on. He's going to be adding 4. He's going to be adding so he's taking his negatives off now, which is probably the right way of doing it. This is going to get added on for 2. This blue one now gets added on for 4. This blue one gets added on for 4. And the light blue for 5. So although Piero had higher scoring opportunities, Victor was just able to add more tiles to his board.
He's 4 points ahead now?
He is, he's 4 points ahead. 18 plays 22 in favour of Victor Hernandez, the Spanish junior. I think he's still a junior, although he's been here quite a few years already. I'm pretty sure he's still a junior.
When did you stop being a junior?
Oh, that is another good question. I think it might be 18 or 19. I think it might be if you're a teenager, you're probably a junior. But
that makes sense.
Yeah, I think I know Martin Hobenmargy's about 21 and he's not a junior anymore. He wasn't last year, so I think 18 would be my guess, but I don't know off the top of my head. I never came here as a junior. A lot of these players have been here for 15 years or so already, and they've been here, done that, done everything. It's only my 2nd year here, but what do you find? So it's your first year here at the Mind Sports Olympiad. What are your impressions?
Again, like I said yesterday, I'm really happy it exists. At first, when I read about it, I thought it was something like the Olympics, but for Mind Sports, because it's got the word Olympiad in it.
Yeah, it's not far off,
Yeah.
Maybe the events aren't as maybe there's not as many spectators and crowd cheerers, but yeah, it's that sort of thing, There's some people who actually train for this. All right, so we're having a look. I believe. Oh, who's going first? I missed that. Can you remember who took the 1 point? Was it Vic? It was Victor, wasn't it?
I think it was Victor.
Yeah, so Victor's going first, we think. So what's he need? He needs a single red. He needs a double black. No, apologies.
Oh, no,
Piero's going first. So that gets Piero 6. Piero. Can you see the black that Piero's got on his board? That's bad for him. He's not going to score many points, and he has to waste his turn trying to fill it up. And even worse, I think that was a mistake. Victor can take the double black, which is going to do that. Yeah. I think that's a mistake from Piero. He should have taken the double black himself
So
just to make sure.
on that.
Because this black one on row 3 for Piero doesn't score many points, and he can't finish it this turn. So I think that's potentially a mistake. I think he's not going to be able to get anything else out on row 3 till next turn, and next turn might be the last in the game. So what would Victor like? He would like 3 reds on the third row or 3 light blues. And he can't take either of those 2 things.
He could take a red on the top.
He could take a single red on the top. Yeah, that's what he's doing. Well spotted. And that's going to score him. Yeah, he's just trying to pile on some points now.
That would give him 6 points.
Yeah, he'd really like 3 light blues. Now, there's what you'll see now, there's a danger. Can you see how many yellows are in the middle? Piero can't take those without taking penalties. He can only put them on row 4. You'd have to take penalties. And you can see now that Piero's hampered, because last turn he didn't finish off his row 3 or his row 5. So he's got those rows that are incomplete. He can't finish either of them this time, so he's going to have those incomplete row for 2 rounds in a row. So I'd say it's quite heavily favoured in favour of Victor here. But if those other 2 yellows get added into the middle, there's going to be 7 yellows in the middle, and that could swing it actually back in Piero's favour. If he can manoeuvre it so that Victor has to take them and take some penalty points, it might get him back in it. Just as a reminder, if you tuned in, we've got 5 rounds here in the Azul Championship this year. These 2 players are both 2 wins, no losses. They're playing each other in a Swiss format. The winner of this match will probably stay at table 1 and play another player who will join him, who will also be undefeated. And we will play until we have seen whoever wins the gold medal from the final match. The winner of the final match will probably win the gold medal based on tiebreaks and player points potentially. But at the end of this match, we're taking a short break and we'll rejoin you for round 4. It won't be too long. We're just going to have catch up, check some rules and things like that. But if you are watching at home and you want to chat with us or interact with us, you can leave comments on Facebook. We've got Alex is keeping an eye on the streams, so if you've got anything you'd like to say, we can read your name out on air. We can do that via Facebook Live or YouTube.
I think Piero's going to try to make Victor take the yellows.
Yeah, but so if he does that...
It's risky.
So let's have a quick count. So if he takes... Is that a light blue he's got in his hand?
Mm-hmm. It's light blue.
So he's taking this as a penalty because he can't place it.
Oh.
No, he's changed his mind. If you're doing that, when he's thinking, you're thinking, if I take the light blue and put this into the middle, there are 4 different colours left, so then it would go opponent, me, opponent, me. Oh, no, that would be bad.
Yeah.
So I actually think that would be bad because if he's counting out moves ahead, that doesn't help him. Because if you took the light blue one, in the middle there would be some yellows, some reds, some light blues and some blues. And there will be 4 turns left. So he needs to take, in fact, he can't take from this tile without being done in as such. So he probably has to take from the centre. He probably has to take the 2 reds from the centre and place them on his red pile. I think this is a... Yeah, so he's taken it as a penalty. So it goes, if you look at the centre, there are 4 colours. Victor gets first pick, Piero gets second pick, Victor gets third pick, and Piero's going to get stuck with what's left. If he takes the yellows, he will only be able to take 4 of them. He will take 4 of them as 3 of them as penalties. So I think that's a mistake from Piero. He should have taken from the centre. And that would change the number of turns left in the game potentially. So looking at what Victor can take, he could take 2 reds. He can't finish another scoring position off.
No.
So maybe he takes the...
Unless he takes yellows and penalties, but I don't see why he'd do that.
I don't think he'll do that. I think he's going to let Piero take that. It's way better for him, for Piero. They'll only score Piero a point, and they'll lose him 4, effectively. No, 5 points. So I think Victor will try and take the reds or the light blues and place them on row 3 for the reds or row 4 for the light blues. And then try and get the other one. So he should take the reds because that's the only thing Piero can properly take.
That will help him more with his row.
Yeah, I think he should take
if
the
he
reds.
Wants to end it.
I think he should take the reds. I think he should take the reds and place them in row 3 and try and get 1 red next round. Yeah, so he's doing that. And then Piero will probably, the only thing he can take is the dark blues or the yellows and take them as penalties. Now, if he takes the dark blues, he'll take even more penalties from the yellows. So I think he's played this pretty poorly, I'm afraid. But he's been done in because he's got these 2 incomplete rows that he hasn't been able to do anything for 2 rounds. So I think Victor's massively favourite now to win this match. So he's taking these. He's going to take these as penalties. And now Victor just takes the dark blues and puts them on the bottom. And then Piero has to take a whole host of penalty points. This is round 4 as well, so Victor can end the game next round. If he has a big enough lead going to the next round, he should be looking to end the game. And more importantly, he's going first. To end the game next round, he needs 2 dark blues. So I imagine, I don't know what he's thinking about. He should take the 2 dark blues and put them on the bottom row. Let Piero take the penalties. Yeah, you've just got to take the 2 dark blues here, Victor.
How many penalty points would Piero have then? There'll be 2, 8.
He's currently got 4
penalty
points. 1, 1, 2. It goes 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3.
Okay.
But if he takes the yellows, that's I think that's correct. I don't know why it took him so long, but I think that's correct. So well done, Victor. And then he's going to take 3 down the bottom. So he's going to lose 1 and 1 and 2 and 2 and 2 and 3, which is 6, 7, 8. That's 11. It's exactly what I lost against you.
Yep.
Do you remember that? Yeah.
In the one game we played.
Indeed, yeah. So, more importantly, Victor is scoring some things as well. So he scores 6 points for that, 5 points for that, and loses 1 point for going first, which he's already taken off. So Victor has 32 points.
Back to 21.
Piero has 7 currently, and he's only going to score a bit here. He's going to score 6 for that. 6 for that is 12, and 1 for that is 13. So he's gotten to 20. So it's 32 plays 20. I think if Victor could end the game next turn, he's going to win. He's 12 points ahead. It's very hard to see Piero catching that up without Victor getting penalties. So Victor is looking for, he really wants 2 dark blues on the same tile to guarantee ending the game. You can see the game ends when someone completes a row. And more importantly, Piero might be forced to end the game anyway, because you'll notice that Piero's top 2 rows have only got 1 space. So even if Victor doesn't end the game, Piero might have to, because otherwise he just can't play anything on his board. 2 dark blues? No. So
nope.
I wonder. So looking at Victor's board, what scores in points?
I think he'll get a single red.
To finish, yes, that would be good. So he takes a single red, pushes the blue into the middle probably. So if he takes a single red on the right-hand side, push the blue into the middle, and then if Piero does something that pushes another dark blue into the middle, Victor can take both of them. So yeah, I think that's a good spot. Well done, Alex. Our top row, he needs a single yellow or a single blue. They do exist. There's not too many of each, but they're all singles. And then the other colours that he's not looking to take can all go on row 4, so he can't really be done in. So unless something very strange happens here, I would like to say that... Yeah, so he's looking to end the game. He's going to force the ending of the game. If he didn't do that, then Piero could take enough blues quick enough that the game would not necessarily end. But I think whatever happens, Piero would have had to end the game because his top 2 rows are almost full. And I don't think Piero can take many things without ending the game himself. But anyway, Victor's going to end the game. So now he's probably going to take the other dark blue. He's got a choice of which dark blue he takes, but given this is going to be the last round of the game, there's no incentive to try and get that first player marker. The other thing you could think of doing is he could take, because there's 2 single dark blues, You could take the red at the bottom, finish the red row,
Yep.
knowing that you'll still get another turn to take a dark blue. Which is
That
the
will
red.
mean 2 rows completed and more points. So I think that would be smart.
He wouldn't complete row 3. It's not going to complete. There's a gap.
Oh yeah, true.
The second one's a gap.
My bad.
Piera could complete 2 rows, but Victor will not. But completing a row is, what's he taking? He's
He
taking.
went from the middle.
Yeah, done. That's fine. He's looking to get one of the 2 single reds. Again, there's 2 single reds here. I think Piera is going to take that. So single red. Now, I imagine Piera takes the 4 blacks because he can place them, or the 3 reds. He can place the 4 blacks in row 4. I tell you what, Piera's going to take more penalties here. There's a lot of colours he can't take. He can't take light blue, so Victor could just let him have the light blues.
He can't take yellow either.
He can't
Right.
take yellow. Yeah, so there's 2 colours he can't take. So I think Piera's going to get some more penalties there. I think this is clearly in the favour of Victor. Let's just see how big the margin of victory will be. He did very well at the start of the game because remember he started on the left-hand side of this board and then
He moved over.
he moved to the right, which is well done. Some people overcommit, but you've got to kind of place near to things you've already placed to score those points. And I think Piera, he's been let down by those 2 rows he's just not been able to complete. So he's using his time. You've got a time bank. Victor is down to 40 seconds, but I think his choices are quite easy now. He's just going to take him things that score points and see out the end of the game.
Would you like a rematch later?
Potentially, yeah. Potentially, if we've got time. Did you like the game?
I do. I really
Yeah.
like it.
And I was talking to someone else earlier who said it shouldn't have won Game of the Year. And I had a disagreement with him. I think it should. I think it's one of the best introductory board games. The rules are super simple. Anyone can play, and it's a real family weight game.
Yeah, anyone can play. If you're 5, if you're 18.
Yeah,
if you're-
definitely.
yeah.
And you could just take tiles and see what happens, or you
Yeah.
can put some thought into it and do a bit better. But the rules are easy. You're not going to put anyone off. But if you like those, semi-tactical games with some thought behind it, this is really good. I think it's slightly more random with more players. So Piera's going to take penalties at the end. Yeah, okay. So we'll see how much he's won by. But I think it's a great game. It won Game of the Year. I'm a big advocate of it. There are some games that win Game of the Years that I just think aren't interesting enough, and this one is.
How do you get your game made if you were to come up with one? Do you go to...
So you can either try and publish it yourself, or you can go through something called Kickstarter. You can do that, or you can take it to a publishing company and see if they'll publish it for you. Generally, if you've not designed a game before, your general route is potentially through Kickstarter or trying to get someone else to come in and help you out. But then once you've kickstarted one game and it's been successful, it's much easier to do future ones. Also, if you're successful as a designer, it's much easier for other people to take it to a publisher to say, look, I've already designed 3 games. What do you think of this one?
Yeah.
And they can help you with it. It's much probably safer to do it through a publisher because they know the ins and outs of it, and then you're not trying to do it all yourself. But there's loads of games go through Kickstarter these years. Let's have a look. So Victor is on 48. Victor is 35, 42. And then they're adding some endgame points on. Piera's added his. It looks like a 15-point win in favour of Victor. It was close at the start. Piero got 2 rows that he couldn't finish, and it hampered him. He took some penalty points. He lost 11 points in penalties because he had those rows that he wasn't able to finish and leave and kind of give himself space to put more tiles out. So Victor goes on undefeated. He goes into one of our few remaining players who are going to be 3-0. I think there will be 4 of those players. So they will be fighting out to get down to going to the last round 4-0 and play for the medal. So we'll see how well he does when we come back. Alex, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much. But we will be back for round 4 as and when it starts.
Yeah, for the penalty. But there was a point.
Hi, welcome
Hello.
back to the Mind Sports Olympiad 2019. I'm here with Alex, and we're watching the Azul Championship here at the Mind Sports Olympiad. It's the first year it's been here. We've already seen 2 games. Victor Hernandez has won one of them. He beat Piero, who won the first one we saw. And these are 2 of the 3 remaining players who are undefeated. The 3 players who won all 3 games so far. We have Victor Hernandez, the Spanish junior, on the left-hand side there. And we have Daniel Ferri, who's had a good year this year so far, on the right. We have one other player that is 3-0, is Sophie Taste. And that might remind you of Remy Taste. I believe that's his sister. So well done to the Taste family who have a good showing in this event. We're straight in so far. We can work out what's happened here. That Victor must have taken the double black, and Danielle took the single red from the centre to become first player. Now, I think I will let you know now that I believe the strongest thing you can do is go down the centre column, because then you've got either side. So I think, yeah, Danielle was too eager there. He was scoring it already. He's put the single red on the board straight away. No, you can't do that, Danielle. So I believe Danielle's going to just going to go straight down the centre, and we'll see how that pans out for him.
There are 2 yellows there he could get at some point.
There are, yeah, if they get pushed in. So if you can push one of them into the centre here, you might give it a chance to do that.
I think 3 yellows actually.
There are 3 in total, yeah.
Yeah.
There's 1 on the top, and then there's 2. There's 1 on each of the discs on the edge. Now, Victor's probably regretting taking the double black at the start, because there weren't 3 reds out there until Danielle took one. Apologies, Danielle took one and there weren't 3 reds anymore. So Victor won't be able to get 3 reds underneath the black this turn. So he's going to be a turn behind. And remember, what you generally don't want to do, it will be unavoidable some of the time. You generally don't want to have those uncompleted rows.
Yeah.
Because it limits your options on the next round.
I have a feel Victor might go for the yellows.
You are correct.
Yep.
Well spotted. Oh, that was a red. We thought it was a yellow.
Oh, I thought it was a yellow.
Yeah, it was sideways on. We couldn't see. So apologies to Victor. Well played. And you can see Danielle, so he's potentially going to have a tough round, second round. I wonder if Victor could take the 2 blacks that Danielle needs, just to be mean. Yeah, he's going to do that. He's going to stop Danielle finishing the bottom off here. And then he's still got a chance. He needs a single light blue for the top of his column on the on his left-hand side of the board. So Danielle takes the single light blue. Victor is going to take the other single light blue, put it on his top row. But that will give Daniel Ferri the double yellow he needs. So you know, earlier you said Danielle might not get that double yellow. Well, he will now. He's got 2 yellows that he will take. He could take 2 blues, but he should take 2 yellows, because what you're trying to do every time is get things that go onto your board. So I think Danielle is doing okay, but I would think currently Victor's slightly ahead. He's going to score more points this first round.
He can fill 3 tiles already on one column.
But Danielle, all the colours Danielle's got are going to go straight down the centre.
Yep.
The issue is he's got 3 incomplete rows. He's just going to be stuck.
Score longer term
potentially.
Goal. Yeah.
Potentially he could get stuffed there. If there was like 6 reds in the middle at the end and Danielle has to take them, he's got to take them all as penalties.
That's 6 points for Victor.
It is. That's a good start. A 6-pointer. Often possible. Hard to do more than 6, but it's often possible. And I think that's a good start. It's much stronger if you can do it in one of the more central places. But we saw Victor did this last time. He went down the edge of his board last time and ended up winning. He did so by potentially his opponent Piero blocking 2 of his columns. Right, so.
Now Daniele can get any of the dark blue to fill his dark
Yeah, he
blue in the
needs one
middle.
dark blue, so he doesn't need to take that yet, you see, because he's got options. He's got to
Yeah.
look for things. I think he's got triple black there. That's not what he wants. I think there's a red on that. That's a red, isn't it?
It is
And
a
at
red.
the top there's a yellow, and yeah, okay.
He could take the...
Yeah,
I
this
thought he
is
could take the 3 blacks and then use one as penalty, but that might not
Yeah.
be wise because there are the 2 in the
no,
middle.
you're right. I
Yeah.
think that's the correct move.
Oh, he's
Because
doing
what he
that,
doesn't
yeah.
want to do is push even more blacks into the middle.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if there's 4 or 5 blacks in the middle, and he's just
It's a lot of
struggling.
penalty.
He also has the opportunity to take a dark blue. He could try and take the one in the centre to go first again.
Also light blue.
Yeah, he needs one dark blue and one light blue.
I think he's in a very good position.
Okay, we'll see. So bear in mind, a full column scores you 7 points at the end of the game. He's almost certain to get that. In fact, I can't see him not getting a full column. Victor is a bit further away from the full column. He might need to start collecting his dark blues and putting them on the bottom. He could take a single black and complete that row, but he could also take a single black and put it next to the top. So there's 2 single blacks he can take. He could take, the triple light blue isn't good for him, I'm afraid. It's not good for either player. It doesn't score you many points. I think someone's going to take some penalties here. It's more than likely to be Danielle, but we'll see. They've got a time bank on the left-hand side of your screen. They start with 15 minutes, which means the match should last about half an hour. Lasts potentially a bit more than that if they both go to time because they pause it when they do the scoring. So the timer only counts for this portion of the game. So this is good for Victor's point of view. There are a lot of light blues that are going into the centre. Danielle can't take them without taking penalties, but Victor can. Victor can put light blues on his 5th throw. So in theory, if Victor can get a position where Danielle has to take a big pile of light blues, Danielle will lose points. But if Victor has to take them, it's not the end of the world.
Unless Daniela takes them now, 2 of them.
Possibly, but I mean,
But there's no point in
he
doing
could
that,
just take
really.
the single one now and then take
Yeah.
the others as penalties later. The other, I think a sensible move might be to take the single blue and make sure you go first next time. You'd lose a point to do so,
That's what I thought, yeah.
but I think going first next time is quite a strong thing. So Alex has been part of the camera crew this week. She has graciously again stepped in to help us commentate. It's the first day she's ever seen this game, but she's picked it up remarkably well. Well done, Alex.
I had a good teacher,
Oh, thank you very much. Chris Fung, who was meant to be here, I believe has lost his voice. He's very ill. He's got a cold. He's been singing and dancing all week, and he's unable to make it in today, which is a shame. I know he's really looking forward to doing the Agricola that we've got coming on this afternoon, but we will still show that commentary for you. It just sadly will not be with Chris Fung.
So Daniela's got the dark blue. From the, what do you call those coaster-like things?
I would just call them discs. I don't know what they're called. I would call them discs around the edge. Or coasters. I think coasters is fine.
I'll just accidentally put my coffee cup on it.
Yeah, if you tell me that you should take the red from the coaster, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Right, so in the middle, I believe that is a single red that's balancing on the top of a light blue one.
I think Victor is safe from penalties either way.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's got his opener above, and this is where Danielle not finishing off his rows last time was pretty bad for him. I think Victor might take the single black, you know. I know. What is he taking? He's taken
a yellow.
Single yellow. Oh, he's looking to get a column going down. He's looking to get a column going down where the blacks are going to go into play. Because he's going to get... Yeah, this is good, actually. This is well done. He's thinking very, very deeply about this game because there are 2 dark blues in the middle now. So if Danielle takes the 2 dark blues, Victor will do something that pushes the last remaining light blue into the centre, and Danielle won't be able to finish his 4th row. So Danielle might have to take the single light blue, which gives Victor access to the 2 dark blues. And then Victor gets close to getting this column. So I'd say it's advantage Victor at the moment. The main reason is Danielle is struggling to take any large quantities. So yeah, he's taken that. I think Victor can now take the double dark blue. And Danielle will have to start taking penalty points. I think he's going to take at least 1 set of penalty points there because he just can't take them. I think he might get away with only 1 penalty plus the one he's already got. Because Victor will be picking last here. So what you can show from this point, where everything's in the middle, you count how many colours are, and that's how many turns there are left. So there were 5 colours in the centre, which means there's 5 turns left. So it goes Victor, Danielle, Victor, Danielle, Victor. Victor will get the last pick, so he can't force Danielle to take those light blues. So what Danielle...
But that's fine for him.
Yeah, so what Danielle can take now, he can take the single black. But if he does that, Victor will take the yellows... the reds.
The reds.
And then Danielle will have to take penalty. So actually, I think Danielle's still going to get stuffed here. The other option for Danielle is he takes the 3 reds.
Gets a penalty.
Victor could take the single black. And then Danielle will have to take 2 more penalties to take the yellows. So that would be 3 penalties or 3 penalties. So I think whatever happens, Victor can force Danielle to take 3 more penalty tiles. If you have to take something in a turn, and more importantly, you have to take all of one colour, which means...
That's the tricky part.
Yeah, you got to tricky bit. Oh, brilliant, I need those 2 reds, but if there's 5 there, 3 of those extra reds go as penalty points. And the penalty points stack up on the bottom. For every one you get, you lose some points. The first 2 lose you a point. The next 3 lose you 2 points. All right, so what he's hoping, he's doing it this way, he's hoping that Victor leaves him the single black. So what Victor should do is probably take the black. I think he should even take it and not play it.
Not play it, yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise he's stuck.
Yeah, so he's going to do that. I think he's, well done. This is excellent. He's played this game
Well
a lot. He knows what he's doing. And now Danielle's going to take penalties. His choice, I think, I mean, he's going to do that. He's got his 3 penalties, and then Victor gets these. He's going to take 1 of these as a penalty, but he gets to put 3 of them in row 3.
So it's 1, 1, 2, 2 for penalties at the bottom.
Yeah, it's 1, 1, 2, 2.
So that's
Danielle's losing 6
points.
Victor's losing 4, but Victor has now got, if you notice what Victor's adding to the board, he's adding 4 in the same column.
Yeah.
You get 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. So Victor's going to score 10 points. Well spotted. Daniel's do some scoring now. So Danielle's going to complete a column, which we knew was coming.
And that's an extra 7 points?
At the end of the game, yeah. But, I mean, Victor's going to complete a column, we think, as well. And then Danielle's going to lose some points. So I think Victor, at the end of this round, will be slightly at... actually...
I think
16 minus
Daniela's
4
column is a better place, though.
It's 12. They're actually going to make the same number of points, Alex. They're actually going to make the same number of points because Victor's lost his 4 points. He's going to score 10. Danielle scored more points this round because he was able to place all 5 things. Ooh, so it's actually going to be closer than we think.
Did he take out the penalty points, though?
Yes, he's taken his penalty points. Yeah, because Danielle was allowed to play 5 tiles to his board and Victor only got to play 4. Danielle was able to place more scoring opportunities. Actually, Danielle might be favoured here because he's got a column, so he's ahead on board. He's got 7 points at the end of the game.
And like you said, he's got his central.
Yeah, so you can go either side.
So tiles at either side will give him more points.
Yeah. So what Danielle's got, if you can get a single black on the top row, that's 5 points. Or a double blue on the second row, that's 5 points. And the problem with that is that Victor doesn't have the same sort of scoring opportunities because he's not played either side of his row. He did what he did last time. He switched. He started in the column furthest to the left, which is what he did last time, and switched. And last time he succeeded. he was able to penalise his opponent. In this case, he penalised his opponent, but had to take some himself, I'm afraid. And I believe it is Victor first. So we'll see. So what does he need? He needs 5 reds. He might just have to take the 3 reds and put them on the bottom row. Building up to getting 5 of them.
Yeah,
which
so
is
he's doing.
what he's doing. But I think actually, I'm actually going to swap my decision. In my head, I think I was backing Victor. I'm going to swap my decision to backing Danielle. I think he's done very well. I think he got away with not taking a huge penalty at the end of the last round. He took a 6-point penalty, but because Victor had to take 4 himself, the penalty didn't matter too much. And Danielle has now got his central column. And it's much more interesting in a 4-player game. You get more discs or coasters around the edge. But if everyone's going for the central column, if you go for one on the edge of the left or the right, you actually get access to colours other people are leaving for you. Did you see what he just did there? He took a red and didn't play it. He's just done it to stop Victor completing that row. So aggressive tactic from Danielle.
There's one red left.
There's one red left, so Victor won't get it, you see. So Victor's now looking to see what scores in points. So what he's looking to do, he's looking to get, in fact, anything along the top will get him points because it will be touching things he's already got. The other possibility he might look for is trying to get 4 yellows on the 4th row. And then his last column. But I don't think that's good. I think he's got to try and get things that are touching his bigger column. I think it's single blue, single red, double yellow from the centre. So he could take the double yellow from the centre, but he's also going to be looking at what Danielle needs. And Danielle needs a single black or a double blue. All right, so Victor will be looking for a single blue if he can get it. Oh, that's good for Danielle. Yeah, I think Victor let him have that, so that's probably a mistake. So Victor will probably take a single blue here and be looking to get a triple black if Danielle lets him, which Danielle won't. Danielle will take the single black to stop Victor getting the triple black. So Victor should probably get a single blue just to score him some more points, because if he gets a single blue out this round as well, it will mean the double light blue he's got will score him an extra point, an extra 2 points, sorry.
If I were Daniele, I would take the single black from the middle.
Yeah, it depends which side Victor takes, I guess. But yeah, I think taking a single black from somewhere makes sense. It'd be nice for Danielle's point of view if you could get the double blue as well. Yeah, no, he's done that thing. Danielle, naughty boy. Danielle is a very boisterous character. I love speaking to Danielle. He's got a game here that he designed, so he is a designer of a game.
Oh, right,
and one of the games played here at the MSO, the Mind Sports Olympiad, is a game he designed called Vegetables.
Vegetables,
yeah,
okay.
Vegetables, yeah. It's
Do you
in the
pick
open
them?
playroom. You do not pick them.
No.
It is not a gardening game. It is a game involving cards where you're growing vegetables in different plots. It is interesting. He did show me how to play it this week, so I'm looking forward to trying it out because we have a copy in our cafe. Okay, so
Do you think Victor might be trying to force Daniele to become more penalties?
I don't think Danielle will take penalties this round. I don't. I mean, he's already taken 2, but I don't think. I think he's got enough open space that he can take whatever he wants to take. I think Danielle will be looking to get. I don't know. He's not going to score any more. Is a 2 he can get? He can't get the double blue. He can't get a double black. He can't get a double light blue. So he can't fill his second row. So Victor's done well by denying Danielle the opportunity to fill his second row. Victor isn't going to score much, but what's Victor's going to do? If you look at what Victor's got, he's going to have the black that joins the light blue on the top row.
2 points.
Double white that joins the dark blue on that row, 2 points.
Yeah.
The triple dark blue that joins the third row, 2 points. But because he's going to get those 2 pointers, then he's going to give himself more spaces where he can score higher points next turn. So he's not doing too bad, given where he was at. I think I still think I'm backing Danielle. You can back Victor. Victor can be your.
I think I was backing Daniela from the beginning.
Okay, I'm going to switch sides.
Someone has to back Victor.
I
think the game is still fairly open, though.
I think so. Yeah. I think so. I think it's tight, and like you see in these games, if you got to watch it, you don't really left restricted, and if you can take a high penalty, it can really swing the course of a game. The games are often, with the games we've seen, have been about a 20-point gap, but a lot of the time in one of those games we saw like 19 points in penalties. So if you can take it. So this is now Danielle. So Danielle's in a position where he can't fill another row, and if he takes one of these and places it, he's starting to block rows again, and he potentially doesn't want to do that.
You could take it as penalty, but that would mean 4 points.
I think I would take the light blue and put it on the bottom row, actually. You might even have a chance at finishing a second column, you see. Because the second column you've got, if you look at Danielle's fourth column along, he's going to have the black at the top. He's already got the red. He's going to have the 3 yellows. He's going to have the yellows placed this turn. So if he starts building up the bottom one, which will be light blue, he could take that. But the other consideration Daniel's got is, what is his opponent going to take? His opponent is going to take the red.
Let's see. Yep.
Yeah. His opponent's going to take the red. He can't take anything else. So if Danielle takes the red,
or spotted.
Yeah. So he's not going to finish that.
It doesn't really
column. Doesn't really help him that much.
No.
But Victor is now taking penalties, and now doing it that way is forced Danielle to take a penalty too. Okay, so let's have a look. So who's going to score first? So Danielle, that's going to be 5 points. It's going to be 5 points. I think he only scored 4 there. That's going to be 5 points. I might have mistook that. And then he's going to lose 4 points for penalties. So he's on 17 points. Okay. And Daniel's going first next time. So if we have a look at what Victor's going to score. Victor's lost his point first.
Yep.
Gains 2.
It's 2. Another 2.
Yep. Another 2.
Another 2.
And that's it. So they're 1 point in it. I think they've both got good scoring opportunities. And there could be chance for a big penalty here, because they're both restricted. They're both got rows they can't finish off, although Victor's closer at filling up those rows, and Victor's rows score more points. So the red that Danielle's got on the bottom will only ever score him 2, but it will score Victor 5. So Danielle is really hoping that there aren't enough reds to help Victor, and he could take some of them. Let's have a look. There are
5 reds.
Is that a red on the bottom?
That might be a yellow, actually.
I think it is a red.
Or a red.
I think it is a red. So there's 5 reds. So I think Victor will finish that. And I'm just letting you know that, Alex, this will be your last commentary. I think we've got a girl called Emily coming in to do some commentary on the last round. So thank you for that. So hopefully I'm going to...
Awesome. So I can listen now.
You can listen and watch and cheer your favourite on. But for the final round, we're going to get Emily... I've forgotten Emily's surname. Emily. Well, I'm not gonna sit there guessing on air. But we're going to get Emily, a good friend of mine on Facebook. She's going to do a bit of commentary with me for a change. So Danielle's first move was to take the single blue to fill up his second row. I think what Victor's going to do is potentially do something that pushes a red into the middle, and then he's got 2 reds to take for the bottom row. He could just take a red for the bottom row now. But he's taking a single blue, which is going to go on the top. Which fill in that gap. He'd like to get 3 blacks, although I'm not sure he's going to be allowed the opportunity. Actually, there's no good blacks for Danielle to take, to be honest. You could get a bit of a stalemate here if Danielle takes the 2 reds.
That's what I thought.
If Danielle takes the 2 reds, Victor would have to take a single red, otherwise he could be frozen out of finishing the red row off.
And then Daniele can take another single red.
Yeah, but then Victor gets the last one. So if Daniel takes 2 reds, he's forcing Victor to take 2 single reds in his next 2 turns. And then Daniel maybe have a free chance. He's going to do that. And now Victor has to take a single red, which is going to do so. All right, what would Daniel like to do? He'd like to take potentially either a single blue or a single white for the top row, or a triple white.
Triple white.
Which, yeah, excellent. Yeah, so I think he's set himself up there. I think Victor might have taken the wrong red. He pushed some whites into the centre there. So I think that was a mistake from Victor. I think Victor should have technically taken the red nearest to him. He wouldn't have pushed all those light blues into the centre. So Victor doesn't need to take the single red yet because there's 2 left. He can take whichever one is still left there by the end of his next turn. So he's looking for other things to do. He might
take the black. Oh
no, double yellow. That's fine. That scores him some points as well. There is a chance that Victor will finish 2 rows next turn. And in finishing the rows, not only will he get points for the rows, but when he finishes the rows themselves, they score quite a few points too. His option there, he was going to take the 2 layers. The other option was to take the 2 layers and put them on the 4th row down.
Yep. To get 3 points?
Yeah, to get 4 points it would have been. Because when it gets added on,
there's a white there as well. Yeah, I didn't see the white.
So Daniel took the red, which means Victor has to take the red if he wants to finish that column off. And that forces Daniel. So Daniel, let's have a quick check. So there are how many colours left, Alex?
3, so 3 rounds.
3 turns. So it goes Daniel, Victor, Daniel. So Daniel has got the last pick. He's got to try and do it in such a way to not do himself in. So I think he's going to take...
There might be some penalties, I think, for Daniele, yeah.
He will take some penalties, I'm afraid, here. And I think he takes the 3 dark blues. But he's looking to see what his opponent can take. If he does that, it gives his opponent the 3 blacks. So he's going to take the 3 blacks instead, which isn't as good for him, point scoring wise.
No.
But it means his opponent also takes some penalties. So his opponent will take 2 tiles as a penalty, and then Daniel gets to take
2 tiles.
2 tiles as a penalty because he can use one of these. So well thought from Daniel. I think you can see that both players are on the top of their games. They're thinking about it. I think Victor made a mistake at some point. He took the wrong red tile, or whichever tile it was, to push a 3rd light blue in the centre so that Daniel could score it. So that's not great from him. But what we will see now is that Daniel has got 2 almost full rows but not complete. And then Daniel's going to lose 4 points at the end, so he's going to go back to 24. Has he taken them off already? I think it looks like he has. So yeah. Victor takes the points off at the start, 2, and then he's going to score 4, 5, and 5. So it is still really close. It is 29 plays 28. They both have a full column. I think Victor will finish off both rows. Danielle will finish off only 1 row at maximum. But Danielle actually is going to get a 2nd column. You'll notice that if he gets a black and a red there, he's going to get 2 columns. So it's close. I'm probably going to back Danielle because that 2nd column for 7 points might be good. But there is a danger that because you've got so many tiles already on your board that you could end up taking some penalties. So we'll see. The bag is now completely empty. There is enough. Yeah, so he's finished the bottom row. What do I... Oh, he's now deprived. Did you see what we did? They took 2 reds instead of 1. He's deprived Victor of finishing off his 2nd row. He's good. So Victor could take the single
He
red.
could take the single.
I think he will take the single red.
That would be 6 points.
Yeah, or he could take the double yellow. Or no, he should take the single black.
Well, he can take that way.
He should take the single black because that deprives Danielle of completing a column. There's no other blacks. So now they're doing things in such a way to stitch their opponents up a bit more than doing the best technical play for themselves. I think Victor could take the 3 yellows here. Or the 2 yellows. He's going to take either the 2 or the 3 yellows. I think.
Taking 3 will give him more points.
Actually, I think he's got to take the single red. He's got to end the game because I think if there's another round, Danielle will get a column and Victor won't. So unless Victor can get the very end column, I think he potentially might have to end the game this turn and see. Because I don't think he can risk Danielle getting a column without Victor getting one himself. Have you enjoyed this one?
Yeah, this one's very tight.
So yesterday you did Carcassonne, and today you've done Azul. Which is your preferred game of the two, do you think?
I think for an afternoon with friends having fun, this one is my preferred one. Yeah, it's quicker. It's simpler.
So he's deciding where to put this, I think.
That's a white one? Yeah.
Oh, he's done that to start. So I don't think he's going to win the game. So there will be another round. They've both taken a tile to stop the opponent winning the game. Victor's got to watch it. He's only got 50 seconds left. They've got to play fast now. I wonder why they would both want to stop the game being ended, because surely one of them must think they're ahead.
Maybe I don't think they're ahead enough for that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Maybe. Oh, actually, look at this. What's Danielle going to be able to take?
Penalties.
Penalties, yeah. So I think Victor's done it in such a way that Danielle's going to be taking more penalties. And that's the danger. So Danielle had those 2 rows at the bottom that had loads of tiles on, which means he's not got much space. And each round, there's got to be 20 tiles taken between the players, and Danielle's just not going to be able to take any of the colour combinations. I think, he's going to get stuffed here a bit. I think he's thinking about the best way to be stitched up.
The lowest penalty.
Yeah, but I think he's going to have to take.
It's 4 minimum, right?
Yeah, if he takes the 2 blues as penalties, Victor will have to take penalties in return. But I think he's going to lose. He's going to get at least 6 tiles in penalties here. Yeah, he's going to get at least 6 tiles in penalties. He's going to lose 14 points. So, although our man, Danielle, we backed him to win. Apologies, Danielle. I'm going to switch back to Victor.
Switch sides.
I think Danielle needed to, because he's going to get the penalties, he possibly shouldn't have ended the game because his best chance is to go forward. He's got 23 seconds left, 22, 21, 20. We're going to find out what happens. They're not going to have time for another round, I don't think. And then Danielle is going to take all these as penalties. So next round they've got 45 seconds, plays 14. They're going to have to play super quick if they're going to finish the game. And then he gets the bottom row as well for 2. And then he's going to lose 14, so he's going to go from 36 to 22. So filling up the bottom row. I've done it before. I'm filling up the bottom row because of 14. That's how I know. So he's on 22. So let's see how Victor is doing. So he takes his penalties off. So he's going to take 6 off to start with. So he's going to go back down to 23. And then he's going to add 2 of these tiles to the board. So that's going to add him 4 for 8 points, for 4 points. And then another 4 for 8 points. So he's going to go to 31. So he's 9 points ahead. And potentially Danielle's in the same position. He's only got 8 open spaces on his board, 7 open spaces on his board. So he could find himself taking more penalties next round. If you look at Victor's board, it is empty. So next round, it'd be nice if they can both score some things, but if anyone's taken penalty points, it's probably going to be Danielle. Oh, we didn't spot that. Yeah, they've got to take those off. So actually Danielle's a bit better placed now. He's got more space. Right.
He's only got 14 seconds.
He has. They're just going to have to play very quick. And I don't think you gain any time back each turn. So some of the games, you'd play a move and then you gain some of the seconds back that you used. So, and this particular game, I think it's just a flat 15 minutes. So we're going to see. I think Victor's winning anyway. So if Danielle loses on time, it seems slightly fair. Because Victor is ahead, he's gonna have to play super fast now. 11 seconds, plays 40. There's not 2 reds out, so he needs to take. There's not 3 blacks out. I tell you what, there's gonna be a lot of penalties here. Stop the time. Bing, bing. It's done it again. 20 seconds, 19. It's gonna be close. Bing. It's going to be some penalties. Bing.
This is very intense now.
Yeah. Go to time. 9 seconds. Plays 9 seconds. Oh, I'll tell you what.
Oh.
Danielle is ahead on time. And you've got to take that as a penalty. This is goes there. Okay. This is the last round of the game. That was quick. That's how quick you can play the game. But obviously there was a little thought going there. So let's just see how it works. So Danielle's going to go first. He's going to go. He's going to end the game because he's completed that top row. So it's going to be 5 points. 27. Nothing. Doesn't get added. Yeah. Okay, well spotted. Yeah. That gets him 6 points. No. 7 points. And a column. He's got a column now. That gets him 3 points. And loses 2. So he gets 1. So he's on 35 with some end games going to come. He's got more end game scoring than Victor, I think. But Victor's got more actual in games going. No, wrong. Other one first. Needs to be the blue one first. Needs that scores him 4.
4 points.
Yeah. And then this one scores him. No, not 3. It's going to be 6. It's going to. Oh no, it's a gap. No, there's a gap. You're right. Absolutely right. You're absolutely right. It was 3 points. So he's on 45. So he finishes the game with 10 more points. Danielle's got slightly more in game scoring, but I think Victor. He's probably got enough to beat him. I think Danielle's got 1 extra column.
So that's 7 points.
Yeah, so he's going to get 16 points. 16 points. Yeah, and I think Victor's going to get 9 to win by 3 points.
Yeah.
So it's 59 plays. 63 plays. 64 plays 61 in favour of Victor. He goes through as a 4-0. Winning player. If Sophie Taste wins, they will be playing for the gold medal. If she didn't, Victor Hernandez will play someone else who's lost a game, played 3, lost 1 or something like that, and we'll see. We're going to get you the standings as soon as we can. I believe we're being joined by Emily, so we're just going to have a quick break while we sort out a change in commentators, and we'll bring you the final round as soon as we can. Alex, it's been a pleasure, so thank you very much. Me. And I hope you guys watching at home have appreciated Alex's comments, even though she's never played the game before. I think she was fairly insightful, so thank you very much.
You're being kind, thank you.
So we'll be back with the 5th round as soon as we can. Meanwhile, don't go away. Hi, welcome back. We're approaching the last match of the Azul Championships. I'm joined by Alex again. We had a miscommunication about at what point Emily will be joining me. She'll be joining me for Agricola later, which is fantastic because she probably knows the game slightly better than I do. So we're going to have some good insight there. We'll have a chat with Emily. So looking forward to that later. That will be this afternoon. We're going to be watching the last round or last 2 rounds of the Agricola Championships here. At the Mind Sports Olympiad, but we're joining the last match. We've got Victor Hernandez. We've seen him 2 matches in a row. He's won both matches, and he is the last undefeated player here at the Azul Championships. And he's playing Sophie Taste, who was until recently also undefeated, but she lost her previous match. But Victor's been pared down as such, and he's going to be joining Sophie. And you might recognise that surname because Remy Taste was playing earlier on the feature table. So I believe Sophie is Remy's brother. Sister. The wrong way around there. So we can see here that the very first move, oh my God, isn't she lucky? She drew 4 of the same colour on the same coaster and managed to take all 4 of those. So that is a good start for Sophie, filling up. That is a clear first move usually.
Steve, I have a question.
Yep.
How do you decide who goes first at the beginning of the game?
So what will happen is the software that does the pairings will say whoever's on the left will go first, and it will make sure you have a fair balance over the course of the match. So basically, Victor went first in his last game, which means he's more likely to go second in this game, or Sophie might have gone second in her last game, which means she's more likely to go first in this game.
A lot of times it's age, right? Youngest player, or is that just when you play at home with your family?
The rules for Azul in the book is the last person to have visited Portugal, or the most recent visitor to Portugal. So I've played games of Azul where I've actually been to Portugal and none of my opponents have, so I get to go first. But there have been some games where I've played against someone who's been to Portugal more recently than me. I went.
When was the last time you went?
22 years ago.
I went last year.
Yeah, so that's why. When I went first when we played. Oh dear, I feel I've cheated you.
Well, I won, so it's okay.
You did. Are you quite a competitive gamer?
Yeah, but like healthy, like nice competitive, you know? I'd like to think.
Yeah, so you like winning, but you're not a sore loser.
No.
Yeah, okay.
It's all about fun.
I agree. So Victor has done his usual. He likes that last row, doesn't he? He'll be looking to try and get 3 reds at some point here. So he might decide to take the 2 reds from the middle and take the first player marker, which is what he's doing. And now there are 2 single reds left. He's guaranteed to get at least one of them, and hopefully he can get a single light blue as well.
So he's going for the left-hand side, or his right-hand side column.
He should take. I mean, he can take the single. He should. Yeah, he's taking the single red, and he's going to hope that there's a single light blue he can take next, because Sophie's going to take one of the light blues, you'd imagine, and then he's probably going to take the other.
She might take the single red.
Yeah, and actually that's a good move, but actually no, it wouldn't be, because then she wouldn't get to finish this row off. The single red should still be there when it's her turn, because Victor's going to take the single light blue. He's just doing what's best for him at the moment. He's not trying to sort his opponent out. And now Sophie can take the single red. Why would she take the single red and not the single blue?
Because I will start building the column in the middle. You
are well done. You're well versed. As someone who's never played the game before, you've picked this up tremendously fast. So,
thank you.
Congratulations. So yes, the middle column is often described as one of the stronger plays, especially 2-player. When you've got fewer other people to worry about fighting for things. And so if you've got the middle column, you can branch off either way and kind of score those points, those connected points. She's just going to take that. Victor might take the yellow in preparation for building up the whole row, because if he takes the yellow, he might also get the blue as well, and he might get the full thing. But the danger of that is the danger of what happened to Danielle. If he gets 2 uncompleted rows this turn, he might find himself in a bit of trouble. But I think I would take the yellow.
And Sophie's board is looking really neat right now.
Yeah. I think I would take the yellow. Sophie will take the 2 blacks, and he will take the blue. No, he's depriving Sophie of the 2 blacks, I think, here. So Sophie will take probably... Oh dear, neither of those are good for her. Yeah, neither of those are good for her, to be honest. So she might just... Oh, I don't know whether she takes it as a penalty or not. We'll see. The issue is, both of them are going in the bottom row. They're going to leave it uncompleted, and they are way off in the corners. Just to be aware of the standings, the winner of this match has a chance of gold. If Victor wins, he's guaranteed the gold. If Sophie wins, it's going to go down to some tie breaks. Now, the way we do the two-player games in this tournament is it's called the Buchholz method. It's a word known by the guy, probably the guy who designed it. And it's based on the strength of the opposition you play. So if I've played lots of people, if we tie, obviously we're both excellent game players. If you win 4 and lose, and I win 4 and lose 1, so we're both on 4, and we finish joint first, it's not the result between us that counts. It's the result of all our opponents. So we work out who we've played. Maybe you played Bartek and Sean, and they didn't do very well, and I played Sophie and Victor, who did do very well. Then I would beat you in the
have better
tiebreak.
skill.
Yeah, I've played people who have done better, so I've played tougher opponents. So I win any tiebreak there is between us. So that's the tiebreak that's going to happen between us. And what I will tell you now is that Victor's tiebreak is better than Sophie's. So if Sophie beats Victor, I think Victor will still finish ahead of Sophie anyway. But there are some other players who are on 3. So the gold medal, silver medal and bronze medal will come from the following list of players, because you have to go only lose 1 match to have a chance of a medal. And these players are in the position to do that. So you've got Victor Hernandez on screen here. You've got Piero Modulo. We saw him earlier. Danielle Ferry, we saw him earlier. Sophie Taste, we see her now. We've got Tim Hebes, who said he was very brain weary today, but he's still doing well. Kuna Kolk, one of the Estonians in the top 10 on the leaderboard. And finally, Matt Tucker. And again, the winners will come from that. Kuno's tiebreak is pretty poor, so he's probably unlikely to get the gold. But Piero, Danielle, and Victor's tiebreak is all quite good at the moment. So it's possibly going to be 2 of those 3 plus another player. So we'll get those results to you as soon as we can. And we're on the second round, and we can see that the scores are neck and neck after all penalties, with the only difference being that Victor has 2 blacks on the bottom row and Sophie's got an empty board.
So it's Victor's turn now? Because Sophie started, I think.
Oh, yeah, who took the...
Or did he draw the...
Victor took the first player token,
so
I think.
So he's him, yeah.
I think it's Victor's turn. Sophie decided, last time when she had 1 of each and neither were good for her, she decided to take that as a penalty. So she's got an empty board again. And that might seem like a weird thing to do, actually, but for tactical reasons, keeping an empty board is good. You're less likely to get done in. Yeah, I mean, they were really good for Sophie, so Victor's taken them. Sophie's looking to get 3 blues in the column. She might just take the 2 blues and play them in row 2, because that joins up 2 of her tiles.
Yep.
So potentially there's a lot of light blue, and that's what she's doing. Possibly, we'll see where she puts them. No, she's going for that column. She's going for that central column straight away. She'll be looking for some light blues next, if there's some light blues she can get.
Well, now they both need one of the dark blues, and there's only, well, there are 2.
There are 2 left, yeah. So there's no rush. When there's 2 left, there's no rush to get it, because if you get one, your opponent gets the other.
Gets the other one.
Or you can wait for them to take one, and you take what you've got. So I wonder if Victor takes the double red and places it in row 2. Unfortunately for Victor, there are not enough blacks for him to finish the bottom row yet, so he's taking the single
dark blue.
Dark blue, yeah. And so this is going to force Sophie to take the other one. And this is good for her because there are 4 light blues in the centre.
Which is what
she needs 4. So what Victor's best bet is to do is to take the 2 reds at the top, because that will push the other 2 light blues in the centre and make it much more costly for Sophie. But in doing so, he's got to count. So let's say, for example, this is where he counts ahead. Let's say he takes the 2 reds and pushes the light blues in the centre. How many colours will be in the centre?
There'll be 4. Yeah.
So that means it goes Sophie, Victor, and Victor gets done in. So actually that wouldn't be a good move. I think his best move might be to take the 2 reds from the centre instead. And that would allow Sophie to take the 4 light blues, and then at least Victor doesn't take all those penalty points.
What if he took the right blues from the centre? Or there'll be 2 penalty points because he takes the first player mark.
Yeah, I mean, that wouldn't be awful, but it would be putting in a position where they're not touching other things he's got.
And that wouldn't hinder Sophie that much.
No, he could take the double black and use just one of them, or he could take the double blacks and place them along the bottom. I think I would take the 2 reds from the centre. Concede that Sophie's going to get the 4 light blues. I don't think he can stop her. He could take the 4 light blues. I think if he takes the 2 reds from that tile, he's going to get done in, or at least the opportunity to be done in.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So let's see if Sophie can work this out. If there are 4 colours left, Sophie could take the 2 reds, put them on row 2.
It all depends on how committed she is to that central column.
Yeah. So this is so she's going to be first player next time. She's going to take 1 penalty, but if she can make Victor take all the light blues, he's going to take 4 penalty points, and those light blues aren't good for him. They don't actually help him score points. So I think as Sophie, I would take the 2 reds.
I would go for the light blues.
Okay. But you're not as a nasty a player as me. I can be potentially quite a nasty player. And she's having a think. Yeah, she's taking the reds. I think that's definitely the nasty move, that you're gonna force Victor to take some penalty points. Given you've not taken the light blues, you've signalled your intention. You're going to try and do him in. So he's got a choice of a single yellow or the double black. He could put the double black on the bottom, or he can take the single yellow and at least score it. But again, it's just going to score him a point. So I don't think he's that well placed, to be honest. I think Sophie's in a better position because her board is more connected. And Victor's going to get those points, whatever happens. If he takes a single yellow, he stops Sophie getting it. But he's taking the double black, which isn't a bad thing. He's trying to finish that bottom row. So Sophie takes the single yellow, puts it on the top row, and Victor is going to lose some points. But at least he can score a point back. Oh wow, I did not expect that. Given her previous move, I really did not expect that.
That is controversial.
Potentially, maybe she's just... Yeah. Well, Victor takes that and puts it on the top row, doesn't he? I mean... she hasn't finished, yeah, she hasn't passed the time yet, and then he takes that top row, I guess, just score a point. Okay, so they pause it, they're going to score it, they're going to do it one at a time. So they're neck and neck in scores at the moment. I think Sophie missed a trick there. And that scores her 5. This scores her 2. At least she didn't take... She only took 1 penalty point by taking those, but she could have made Victor lose more. So she's on 11. And he's not on as many because his aren't connected that well.
Oh. His
Blacks don't score, I'm afraid.
8 so
he
far.
needs 1 more black. Yeah, so he's on 8. 8, so 11 plays 8. I think potentially Sophie could have made him have a lower score and she could have got a single yellow for another 2 points. Actually, she got the light blues for 2 points anyway, so that would have broken even. So, but she wouldn't have lost a point. So she'd be 1 point better off. He'd potentially be 4 points worse off. But she's in a good
So
position.
5-point difference.
She's in a good position. She's got 3 in the third column and 3 in the fourth column. And then when she starts filling those gaps, she touches lots of other things and she gets lots of points. So
3 yellows would be nice.
3 yellows would be nice. There are
If they get
4
pushed.
yellows out there, so she could take the 2 yellows. Who's going first? She is. She looking for 2 blues. There isn't 2 blues in the same pile. 3 yellows. There aren't 3 yellows in the same pile. She's looking for 4 light blues.
And lots of black.
Yeah, I wonder if you take the 2 light blues and just try and... No, she's taking the 2 yellows, like you said. And then she will try and get one of the remaining 2 yellows on the next turn. So, I know Sophie's got a small lead at the moment then, but who do you favour in this match?
This is tricky. We've seen Victor can come back and deliver.
Yeah, I think so. I've been very impressed with him so far, especially in his last game where we were backing Danielle.
I feel a bit guilty about that.
There are 22...
Sorry, go on.
You go for it.
I was going to ask, is Sophie the only female playing this game, or...?
No, there's a fair few. I think her mother might be playing as well. I'm not quite sure. I know her mother played in one of the other events. There's Noah Concepcion Martinez in the field, I believe. There's Angie, I can't remember Angie Wade, I think.
Wade, yep.
Is in the event.
Marie, is that?
I think it's
Or
Mario.
is it Mario?
Yeah,
Mario, yes.
I think that is Noah's brother. But Noah is female. She's not doing so well in this event, but her stronger event is coming up later, Lost Cities. She has won that before, I think. So.
Are you backing Victor or Sophie this time?
Based on previous performance, I think I would be a fool to not back Victor. I think. But it's close. I think Sophie's board position is better. She's got something on the bottom row. She's 1 light blue away from getting her middle row. There's not many blacks, so her issue might be that there's still a fair few blacks to come. If you remember, there are 25 of each colour. And if you look in the box and what's out on the board, there are 7...
On the board and 1 in the box,
7,
right?
8. There's only 8 that's come out so far, so I think you'll be fine for getting black on the bottom row. So I think he's going to take... I think she should be taking the light blue one now. Scores her 6 points.
I think so too.
Right, there's 5 reds in the middle. Victor can take 4 of them. But possibly what's better for him is 3 dark blues, because then he doesn't take penalties. Yeah, I think.
Well, if he takes the 4 dark blues, Sophie can take the yellow, and then he'll have to take the reds.
Oh yeah, so
and get a
3,
penalty.
you can take the 3 dark blues. No, he'll only get a penalty of 1 tile.
Yeah, 1 tile.
Yeah, so I think that's fine. You'll score a point for placing the reds, and then lose a point for the penalty. So breaking even's fine. It's when you have to take the penalties and you don't score anything for taking the tiles is bad, especially when you have to take lots of penalties. If you've got any comments you'd like to leave us or we can reply to, you've got a chance to do it on either of the live streams on Facebook or YouTube. Alex is here with her laptop.
Yeah, I'm just checking.
Just checking for any comments you've got. We'll read them out, even if you just say, come on, Sophie, or something like that you're watching at home. And this is the last match of Azul. We're going to get the winners we can. I'm going to send Alex out to see who's won when the match finishes, and we can see who gets a gold. If Victor wins, he will definitely get the gold, but we can try and find the other medalists for you as soon as we can. I will tell you now that Victor only has just under 4 minutes left, and this is round 3. So there are at least 5 rounds in the game, and they're doing some scoring now. So Sophie is going to get 6 for that, to put her on 24.
Correct me if I'm wrong. So the player with the least amount of losses win the gold medal.
Yeah, it's the most wins, and then if that's a tie, it's the results of your opponent.
So everyone in the game so far, apart from Victor, has had a loss.
Correct. Victor.
So he's guaranteed a medal.
Probably based on his tiebreak, he's mathematically maybe not guaranteed a medal, but based on his tiebreak, I imagine he will get a medal, if not gold, from winning the first 4. But it could happen if Danielle wins his last match. He's doing quite well, and Victor loses here. Danielle might, because when you play another match, your tiebreak changes based on who you're playing. But I think Victor's probably in the best place. He's had a tougher run to get to this point, because every person he's played until now hasn't lost a game. So he's played some tough people. I know Sophie's dad's in the field, so she must be doing pretty happy to be ahead of her dad. That's really nice. He's a very good games player.
What's her dad's name?
Mark.
Mark.
Yeah, I think we...
So there's Mark, Remy and Sophie.
Yeah, and I don't think their mother's in the field, but they all came in, well, at least Sophie, Mark and Mark's wife came into the Sudoku event I was running, and tried to beat me at doing some Sudokus, which most people succeeded in doing. You had to do as many as you could in 3 hours and 15 minutes.
Wow, that's intense.
There were
That's
24
a
to do. Oh yeah, well, I realised I was going to be sat in the room for 3 hours and 15 minutes doing nothing, so I thought I might as well join in. And, I came 9th, so I was pretty happy with that.
Well done. Out of how many?
16, I think, so I was
Very
nearly
good.
halfway.
How many did you get done?
I got 13 done, but 1 had a mistake in it, so I got 12 done, so I did half of them. But you had different versions. You had killer, you had diagonal. I didn't do very well at the diagonal ones. You had the regular ones, and you had jigsaw. And jigsaw, actually, I did even worse at. So Victor has his 4th one on the top row. He's looking to fill those gaps in now, scoring points. He'll be looking for 3 yellows if he can get at them. There's quite a few yellows out there. Sophie's looking for her 2 remaining blacks. She should be able to get those if she dedicates some effort into doing so. She'd like a double dark blue, which there are not. And has she got a column already? She just needs a single black for another column. So if she takes the one in the middle, she'll be going first next time. She's weighing up the pros and cons of doing so, but she does have a significant lead. She's got a 9-point lead. So I'm sorry, Victor. I'm going to swap to Sophie here. I'm backing Sophie to win it. So she's putting it there. She could have taken that and put it at the top, but she's now guaranteed to finish the bottom row now, which will score her. It will score her 8 points and complete a column. So I think she's going to complete 2 columns, and Victor's not even close to completing a column this game, I'm afraid. So unfortunately for Victor, I think Sophie's significantly ahead here.
Taking yellows.
Yeah, so he's trying to complete a column. He's completing row 4. The row 4 itself, although he's taken 2 points in penalties, that is going to score him 6 points by placing that yellow on the board. So he's going to net gain of 4 there.
She took her black tile.
She did. She just needs another single black tile and she gets a second column done. And remember, each column's worth a lot more than the row. Rows are only worth 2 points at the end of the game. Column's worth 7.
She doesn't have to take the black now.
No, she could take the single yellow just to deprive Victor of the opportunity to do so. That wouldn't be an awful situation to be in. Because the single yellow scores her 2 points and she can get the black next round. But
then that would force her to fill in with yellows next time.
just puts it on the top row.
Does she need a black for that one?
She does need a black, but she could take the single yellow and put it on the top row. She's chosen to take 2 light blues. It doesn't only scores her a point, but because there's still 2 blacks out there, Victor can't deprive her of doing that. She's going to make them take a penalty there. Because I think for her to take the black one now, she's going to lose a point. Yeah, so I think she should have taken the black one last turn. Or the yellow one. After Azul, we're going to take a break, but we will be back later this afternoon with the final rounds of the Agricola tournament. We're going to be joined by Emily. So thank you very much, Emily, for joining me. We'll have fun with that. Agricola is a heavy Euro game by designer Uwe Rosenberg. You are farming, but it's really punishing. It's very hard to do everything you need to do if you've not played it before. And then the reason it makes it super deep is there's loads of interactive cards you can do. So we're going to see how we're doing there. We do know that for the Pentamind standings, Ankush Khandelwal, the second place player, is in that event, and he's looking for, I think, at least third place finish. It's very hard to calculate the Pentamind scores that you could get unless you're used to it. We'll see. So Sophie's just avoiding taking penalties, actually. She just took a single light blue instead of taking the 2 blacks and losing a point.
He can go either for blacks or... He can go for anything, actually.
Yeah, he can take anything. I think he might want to take the blue, though, because he wants to try and get a column done, and his only column that he's close to doing is the last one, the one to his, so the one to our left as we're looking at it. He's not going to get a column now, and I think he's going to struggle to score points in the game because Sophie's going to get 2 columns for 14 points, as opposed to Victor's 0. And she took the blue because she had to as a penalty. I don't know why. Oh yeah, because she didn't want him to have the blue to go on the bottom row.
Yeah.
So this is going to score at 8. It's pretty good. And then she loses a point.
An empty board.
Yeah, so she is now on a score of 33. Let's see what Victor's going to be on after this round. He's taken his penalties off. He's back down to 18. He'll try and get towards 33, but Sophie has got... she's 1 black tile away from a quite high endgame score. However, there's no guarantee that she could end the game next turn. She needs 3 reds to end the game. And she's only 4 points ahead, but she's got more endgame scoring than Victor. So I'm still backing Sophie. The bag has got the last 20 tiles in. And if there are not 3 reds, she cannot end the game.
That's 1.
Although I imagine Victor will be ending the game. He's got the top row can only be dark blues. She won't get 3 reds because he's going to grab them and he's going first. He needs 3 reds for his bottom row.
Yeah.
That was perfect. That was absolutely perfect of him. They fit that gap nicely. They're going to score him 7 points. And filling in holes at this point in the game is good. Now, his best chance for a column is the middle one. He needs 4 light blues and they're not out there. So if he ends the game, he will not finish with the column, and Sophie will finish with...
so he'll try to prevent her from ending.
Yeah, well, she won't end the game this time. She can't, unless she can get 3 reds. Is that?
You should push them in the
That
middle.
isn't full, is it? That's a gap. The black one on the top row. I think
It's a
that's
gap. Yeah.
So she just needs a single black to get a second column. The game will end. Victor will end the game. He's 4 points behind, but Sophie's got way more endgame scoring. So unless she takes a big penalty here, which I don't see happening, I think Sophie's got this. When the game ends, I'm going to send you through next door. If you can find out who's won the medals for me, that would be great. And you can bring that information back through. Again, we're going down to the time. They're taking all the time here. It felt like, obviously, if you've got time in a game where you need to think, you might as well use it. But we, I don't think we thought as deeply as these guys did when we played, did we?
I certainly didn't. Victor's only got 30 seconds, though.
Yeah, we've seen him play very fast, so I don't think that's going to matter. Oh, Sophie can take the reds now. She can take 4 reds and lose a point, but that will end the game as well, and she'll get 2 points for a row. I mean, that's just clear.
Is the red on the 4th row filled in? I don't think so.
No, it's not. I mean, this is just a clear move. She's going to take 2 penalty points, 1 for the first player token, and 1 for the red she can't fit. But this row scores her way more. It finishes a row for 2 points. And it scores her by itself. It scores her 5 as well. Maybe she hasn't got the black on the 3rd row.
No, she hasn't.
Yeah, if we have a look. She's going to do it there anyway for 4 points. No, she hasn't got it. Apologies. That's a mistake on our part for our eyesight. She hasn't got a black on the 3rd row, so she's not ending the game. But for her benefit, Victor is anyway. He's going to do quite well here. He's got a lot of gaps he's filling. So I think, based on endgame scoring, this is Sophie's, but we'll have a look. They are shaking their hands after the game. They're going to score it, and then they're going to see who's won. The shake of the hand was just say, yeah, thanks for playing, and let's see who's won. Yeah, that's going to score a fair bit.
It's very good.
So she's on. That's going to score a 4. This is going to score nothing because she's losing 2. Losing 2. So she's going to finish with a score of 49 plus endgame scoring. Yeah. So the yellow is going to score Victor 7. So it goes from 43, and this is going to score just 1, I'm afraid, for 44.
44.
And he lost a point, so he just broke even. So in 43, endgame scoring, this is going to be 14 points. 59. Oh, I'll tell you what, something we haven't seen today. She's got all 5 light blues.
Yes, she has.
So that is a clear win for Sophie. So well done, Sophie.
Well done.
I'm going to send Alex next door. Going to find out some scores for us. We're going to look at who gets the 3 medals. If you can ask Etten or anyone in there who's getting the medals and confirm that for me. We'll see you in a bit, Alex. Thank you. So we have a quick look coming up later today. That is Azul World Championship. I think it was well attended this year with 22 players, 11 matches on the go at once. So we got down to a winner. It looked like people were enjoying themselves. So that will probably be here next year. So if you like Azul, it did win Game of the Year. If you're into your board games, it's probably one you've played a few times. If you want to give yourself a shot at trying to become the Azul Olympiad champion next year, I imagine that will be back. So thank you for watching. Our last match, last event that we're going to be filming today will be the Agricola, which has a big part to play in the Pentamind overall standings. Andres Kusk is only 5 points ahead of Ankush Kandawal, and Ankush is very good at Agricola. So unless Andres has a win in something like Lost Cities that will affect the points, I think Ankush needs like a 3rd place or better standing in Agricola to win the Pentamind for the 3rd time and move himself into outright 3rd overall behind Andres Kusk on 4 wins and Demis Hassabis on 5. So we're going to look at that. We're just waiting around for the scores there. Just to let you know, the Mind Sports Olympiad is a week-long, 8-day-long event. You can check on the Mind Sports webpage for all the standings over the 70 events that we play here. We don't live stream every event. But if you've got any comments to say about anything we have streamed or anything you think we should stream from the events list, or even any event we think we should play here at the Mind Sports Olympiad that isn't on our calendar, please just comment on one of our videos. We will be looking and listening to the comments that have been said over the course of the week. And if you're looking to come down and play and just want to know a bit more, you can ask questions, or you can, at the end of the event when it's finished, you can just message the people who run Mind Sports Olympiad, and they will be more than happy to answer any questions you've got. I've had a great time here this week. I am super tired, and Agricola is possibly not the game you want to play at the end of the week when you are super tired. Sort of looking forward to watching to see how the Pentamind finishes, but sort of looking forward to going back home to Nottingham and having a nice long rest tomorrow. So we'll see how that goes. Agricola Olympiad will start at 3 o'clock. We're looking forward to 3 o'clock. So we will have about just over an hour's break, I believe, between now and Agricola starting. It's maybe starting a bit after 3, just getting to the point where we do get chance to have a bite to eat and a bit of a break ourselves. But we're going to have a look potentially at the standings. Alex has come back in the room. She's brought some information with her, I hope. She's nodding.
Yeah. We have Victor, Daniela and Sophie in top 3. There's 2 games still going.
Okay, so currently it is Victor in 1st place, Danielle in 2nd place, and Sophie in 3rd currently. But there are 2 games yet to play. Now, they might not catapult those games players into the top 3, but because those players might have played, Victor, Danielle and Sophie, that will affect the tiebreaks. So obviously, if Danielle has played one of those and they win, it improves Victor's tiebreaks. I've just had the confirmation. We have a 1st place to Victor Hernandez. He's done very well. He won the first 4. Lost to Sophie there, which allowed Sophie to sneak into the medals herself. She got bronze. And Daniel Ferry's had a great week this week. He made the final table Carcassonne last night. He won his own game. It might seem unfair, but he hasn't won it yet. Vegetables earlier this week. He got 2nd with silver and left Victor with gold. So thank you very much to those players. We will be back at 3 o'clock with Agricola, so we will look forward to seeing you there. I'll be joined by Emily, a good friend of mine, a games player and an Agricola competitor. She's dropping out of Agricola to help commentate, so much appreciated to her, and hopefully we will see you then for our last event of this year's World Mind Sports Olympiad.